For many young couples, a basic life goal is to become parents. But some find the path to parenthood is frustrating, challenging, and heartbreaking.
Infertility is not an inconvenience. It is a disease. According to the Centers for Disease Control, it affects 10% of the reproductive age population. WRAL's Renee Chu reveals the truth in trying.
David and Deborah, you know that I'm the proud mother of 2-year-old Elsa, but my husband and I waited 3.5 years for her. Nearly 3 of those years were filled with tests and medications, surgical procedures, and a lot of heartbreak. I remember it all like it was yesterday. They were the most difficult years of my life. It can be an all-consuming thing to try and fulfill this one basic life goal that seems to be so easy for everyone else. But infertility is more common than you might think. 1 in 8 couples trying to get pregnant is dealing with infertility. It is personal, it is painful, and if you're going through this, no, you're not alone.
I don't think that I fully realized how much people were pulling for us until we had her.
It was a 5-year wait until Bess Whaley entered the world on December 30th, 2015, making Jean Marie and Michael Whaley proud parents. Along the way, 3 miscarriages, 3 devastating losses.
It wasn't until the 3rd loss that we decided to get some more help and have some more testing done.
The tests came back normal. The diagnosis, infertility, which is not being able to get pregnant within a year of trying or not being able to carry a pregnancy to birth.
One of the worst things about going through this is not being able to celebrate other people's joy. And I had always, well, and Michael too, I mean, we've always enjoyed being around kids. You know, we'd always enjoyed our nieces and nephews and our friends' children and, you know, the children at church, all of that. And so when that became a source of pain, that was, you know, a loss on top of loss. And then to hear, you know, when a friend gets pregnant, it made that loss fresh again for me.
The few things I found as far as men dealing with miscarriage boiled down to support your partner. How? You know, what am I supposed to do with this grief and guilt and rage over what's happened and watching her become a shell of who she really is because of this pain? Support her, but how? So I tried my best to be as supportive as I could, and hopefully I was.
They found hope and support at Atlantic Reproductive Medicine.
I've been doing this for 28 years, and over the last 28 years, what's gotten improved is our ability to help couples get pregnant, more so than our ability to understand why they are not getting pregnant.
Age definitely affects fertility. Studies debate whether stress is a factor. About 1/3 of all infertile couples fall in the unexplained category.
There are options at every stage, and that there are people who will partner with them on the journey to find the right way for them.
Jean Marie went on fertility medication to increase the chances of a better quality egg. After 3 cycles, she was pregnant for the 4th time. She remembers that first ultrasound.
That was a big day.
That was a big day. But to see that little flicker, that was magic, because we had never gotten to see that with any of our previous pregnancies.
And then came December 30th, 2015.
That first smile, I just thought, my heart will never recover from this.
And while not everyone's path to parenthood ends with this kind of joy, the Whaleys say they made it through the journey by leaning on each other.
Try to have fun together. Even when you don't feel like it, maintain that connection.
Be as happy as you can be, and don't stop loving each other.
Now, Renee will go into more detail about her experience on a blog she has posted to her Facebook page and on WRAL.com. We've also posted support group resources and ways family and friends can help loved ones.
Coming up on our news at 6, Renee looks at the financial costs of infertility and the push for infertility insurance coverage in North Carolina.
During our 5 o'clock news this afternoon, Renee Chu delved into the emotional sinkhole couples fall into when dealing with infertility.
It can be financially draining as well. Only 15 states have laws requiring insurance coverage for infertility treatments. North Carolina is not one of them. WRL's Renee Chu shows us why some are working to change that.
First comes love, then comes marriage. But no baby for Mark and Kelly Lesage of Holly Springs.
When we were first trying to get pregnant, we never even considered that it wouldn't happen right away. You know, we were both healthy, so, we thought a couple months or, something like that. And then as time kept passing, it's so frustrating.
Time turned into 3 years, including 2 miscarriages and thousands of dollars spent on fertility treatments.
It's been almost all-consuming, for sure.
They have not yet tried in vitro. Yet 85,000 women a year in the U.S. do IVF in the hopes for a baby. The average cycle costs $12,000. Medications can be another $3,000 to $5,000. So does insurance cover it? Coverage can vary through insurance plans, but North Carolina has no laws requiring infertility insurance coverage. 8 states do require that insurers cover at least 1 IVF cycle, and in Maryland, it's up to 3 IVF cycles.
We've just got to show the lawmakers here in the state of North Carolina that there are 1 in 8 couples are suffering with infertility. That's a lot of their constituents.
Self-insured plans offered by private employers do not have to follow state law. But Katie Lolito, a local advocate for Resolve, the National Infertility Association, says companies should make fertility treatments an essential health benefit.
It shows that a company values their employees' family life and that they're going to help them do that. It shows that they're including women, they're supporting women in the workplace, in their family and their work life.
Lolito and her husband John have been trying for 4 years. After multiple IVF cycles, they gave it one more shot, and it worked.
I love this one. It's like he's waving hi.
I know. Yeah, they're really cute.
Baby Lolito is due in October. And yes, there's also baby Lesage, about 12 weeks along after artificial insemination.
It's like we're just kind of like waiting for each doctor's appointment just to make sure things are still going okay.
Oh, what a long process for some of these couples. Oh.
And what an amazing story to share,
Yeah.
and subject to tackle.
Mm-hmm. Well, if your health insurance does not cover IVF, we have ways on how to make it more affordable with this story on WRL.com.
And there's much more to this story. You can read Renee's blog about her personal struggle with infertility. Again, we thank Renee for doing this and for sharing this story with so many people, as you mentioned, who are going through exactly the same thing.
Heartbreaking and very brave of everyone to talk about this.
Many veterans have returned home from Iraq and Afghanistan with injuries that make them unable to start or expand their family naturally.
For many of them, their only option is in vitro fertilization, or IVF, which can cost an average of $12,500 per round. But coverage is only available to active duty military, not veterans. A bill going through Congress would change that. WRL's Renee Chu shows us why it's so important to an Apex family.
And he was at Walter Reed. When people see him, he looks perfectly normal.
Looking at 30-year-old Jeff Lynch, you would never know that the former soldier was severely injured in Iraq 9 years ago. He was the gunner of a Humvee that ran over an IED. Since then, 129 surgeries, now retired from the military and living in Apex.
It had always been in our plans to have more kids.
Their firstborn, LJ, weighing only 13 ounces, died shortly after birth. Then came Caitlin in 2009, but more children never came. The couple was diagnosed with infertility.
And with Jeff, he has a brain injury. And so for us, we have both female factor infertility, and then with his brain injury, it kind of complicates things a little bit more. And then, the only option to really take care of that is either take him off of his medication, which we don't want to do, or to go through IVF.
Active duty military can get in vitro fertilization covered, but not veterans like Jeff Lynch.
I'd rather go to war any day than see the pain and suffering on my wife's face. I'd rather get injured, I'd rather lose my leg or my life than see the injury in my wife's face and the disappointment that I cannot give my wife a child.
Lynch is among the estimated 2,000 servicemen and women who have injuries that rob their ability to have children.
One of our friends got shot by a sniper, and so now he's a paraplegic. His only option when it's time for him to have children is IVF. And so it's not just about us, but it's about everybody who's going to come behind us.
The Lynches are calling on Congress to help wounded veterans by funding reproductive assistance.
He deserves the respect as a human being when he comes home to be able to have a family and have that American dream that he fought for everyone else. Scan these into the computer.
The Wounded Warrior Project, along with 13 other veteran service organizations, are lobbying lawmakers to secure IVF funding for combat wounded veterans. They're working to make sure the bill is in the final budget that will go before the president.